Hey guys, my name is Julien Fillion. Today I wanted to walk you through the installation of the Sea-Doo rear deck link extension. In my opinion, this is probably the best mod you can do on your own Sea-Doo. It had so much real estate on the deck, and you can basically do it on any newer model Sea-Doo like a GTX, GTI, Wake Edition, RTX, as long as it has the newest hull design. It takes about, I'd say, 3 hours to make the install. I'm gonna walk you through the process. We're not gonna do the entire install together, but I'm gonna walk you through every step. I am gonna link in the description below the official PDF from Sea-Doo for all the instruction, but basically this video will give you an idea of what it involves into installing this extension. All right, let's look at it together. All right guys, we're gonna look at what's important to remove before you can install the rear deck extension, okay? One is you are gonna need to go in your engine bay, so therefore you have to remove obviously the plate here that covers it, the plastic plate. And you are gonna have to remove the exhaust plastic box here. So there's a plastic box in the back connected to the exhaust, and you are going to have to take it out. In order to do so, there's a wide tubing connection there which you have to remove to disconnect, and you also have to disconnect the hose here from the exhaust. Okay, and then once that is done, there's a rubber strap holding it in place, and there's a couple of tie wraps you have to cut, and then basically this entire plastic box in the back, you can remove it. You do need to have plenty of space to access the inside of the engine bay, okay? There's a couple other things you'll have to remove. One is usually this ladder is connected directly to the back of the ski. You do have to remove the ladder, although you are leaving the attachment plate on the Sea-Doo, because these will be part of the installation of the extension. Okay, so you leave those on. You do have to remove the guard for the IBR, so that part is gone. You do have to remove the rear plastic bumpers also, and you probably have a U-bolt on the back. It might not look like this, yours might be black and plastic, and it's usually here, but you do have to remove this because you have to relocate it on the back of your extension. All right, so once all this is removed, you're good to go and to start with your installation. One thing important, when you remove the rear IBR protector, it's going to leave a couple exposed holes in the back of the Sea-Doo. You do have to fill those up with silicone, so this way water does not get in the back, okay? Once this is done, you can start with the installation of the rear deck. All right, you'll notice when you get the extension, I mean, it's obviously, it comes in a big box. It comes in multiple pieces. You have the upper part of the extension, you have the lower part of the extension, and internal, there's a big block of foam to make it flow, okay? So basically, the first step is on the upper part, you want to plug in all your link attachment points because they just come in a plastic bag, so you have to like snap those in from the inside. And then there's plates that goes behind those to keep them in place. So you have to assemble that. That's all part of the instruction. After that, you do have to install and relocate your U-bolt. So for towing, you want to reinstall this. Plus it comes with 2 extra ones, which you install on the left side and on the right side here. Those are installed from the inside of the extension, right? And you also have to install the new ladder connection plate. So there's going to be one plate here and one plate there. Those are to be installed. At this point in time, the ladder is not installed and connected to those plates. It's only the plates on the outside, okay? After that, you'll be able to connect on the floor. You'll be connecting the upper part of the extension with the lower part of the extension, okay? You're gonna link those together, and they're held by screws underneath, right? So you do all of that on the floor, on the ground. You can use kind of a a blanket here on the bottom to prevent scratching it. When you're done with this, you're gonna do a pre-installation onto the back of the seadoo. So you are gonna put this on the back of the seadoo, so put it in place, and you'll notice here, you'll be able to temporarily hold it in place using these bolts, which are connected onto the old ladder strap plate, okay? So you're gonna do that both on the left and the right side, temporarily slide that bolt in, and you're gonna push it in place so it's perfectly in line, and you're gonna connect the screw from the side also, which goes into the railing here. One on the right side, one on the left side. What that's gonna do, it's going to hold it in place exactly when it's going to be when you're done with the installation. When it's out of the box, this EVA is not installed, so this way it's exposing you all the location for the screws for the deck. There's a couple screws and bolts that go onto the deck here that connect the extension onto the deck of the seadoo. And on the bottom, you also have new bolts here. You can see them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's one here on the side, and there's another one here, okay? So what you do, once it's temporarily installed onto the deck, you're gonna mark the location of all these holes, either using a pan or a punch. You're gonna basically do a small mark everywhere, because you are gonna have to drill through your seadoo. There's no other way around. So you're gonna make a mark for all the holes on the deck, and you are gonna make a mark for the holes on the back here. One here, these 4 above the IBR system, and this one on the left. So you're gonna make a mark for this. Once the marks are done and are made, you can remove the screws on the sides, and then remove your temporary holder on the bottom here, and then take the extension off, completely off. You put it on your blanket. At this point in time, you take your drill and you read the instruction carefully in the PDF, and you drill the right size holes everywhere, okay? So you go very slow, you take your time, use the instructions, and drill the right size holes on the deck and on the back of the seadoo. When this is done, there's housing washers that are included in the kit, like these ones here. You have to install them. All the holes on the deck will need one on the bottom, and there's the holes on the left-hand side, and the right-hand side will need one. So basically, you're gonna use black Loctite, which is a product you can order online, and you're going to glue them inside, from the inside. That's why you need all this room in the back, right? Not just to remove the rear U-bolt, but to have access to these new holes, right? So you're gonna glue these housing nuts in place, and gonna wait a little bit for them to be glued in place, you know, and ready to use. You can refer to the instructions on your Loctite glue. Once this is done, you can place the extension back in. Again, you're gonna temporarily use these bolts on the bottom, although now it's not so temporary anymore because we're not gonna remove it. So you can actually put these with a nut and make sure they don't come off anymore. And you're gonna put the railing screw back on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side. And then you're gonna slowly, it's good to have someone to help you with this. You're gonna slowly put all the bolts through the deck and on the back. Sometimes I feel it's still good to go with your hand and to hold the housing nut, okay? Because sometimes the Loctite is not really holding it in place. So you wanna go hold it on the inside and then ratchet in all these bolts. When this is done, you do the ones from the back. A couple of them are tricky because it's really far deep inside there. So you need a long arm to do it. That's why you need to have 2 people, one on the outside, one on the inside. When you're done, make sure everything is very strong and secured. then you can nicely glue this provided EVA on, which covers all the holes for the deck. And you can also install your rear ladder, which is basically you use all the parts you previously removed and you connect them to your new ladder extension here and make sure it's properly working. And then that's it. And after that, what you do is you take all your parts here and you reinstall, you recover all of that, and then you'll be done. One thing to consider when you're going to purchase your Sea-Doo, if you need a cover for it, purchase the longer cover, because the regular shorter cover will not fit the extension. So you are going to need to purchase a new cover for your Sea-Doo if you want to install the extension on. And this is how it looks when everything is installed back on. The rear extension, which in this case I also have here the cargo link rack, but looks pretty good, fits perfectly on the GTX 130, and it's an amazing add-on. You know, so much more real estate now on the back of the Sea-Doo. Perfect. See you guys later.